back in Week 6. The Colts won an instant classic in their first matchup against the Texans. Can Houston avoid the sweep? The answer comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open. We've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, and Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago. This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. And his first pass is incomplete. These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Off the play fake, here's Brissett. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play there on the catch and run. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
Yeah, this is what we mean when we talk about flipping the field, having your offense look at going a long way to a short way after he makes a play. His ability to do that, evident. Able to make the catch there, keep his momentum going, and just continue downfield.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll run here with Mack. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. T. Higgins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So that drive of 4 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll go down at the 2-yard line. What a disaster there. So now the Colts backed up to start their initial drive. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And he did everything possible to rally his team to a win last week, didn't he? What did he throw for?
Over 450 yards.
I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal performance. So, obviously, he and the offense were clicking pretty well. The other 2/3, though, that comes into question. Defense and special teams, they'll need all of them to play better in this one, too.
Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And this one is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
He's got him in, complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. 5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple of things working against them. #1, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. #2, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs. And
the Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
On 3rd down, Brissett. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he is going to have the Texans first down. They get the 3rd down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Brissett. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter. Obviously looking for #2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch. Mike.
Brissett now. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
So we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter. Here's another good example.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Brissett. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Houston. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And you think on 3rd down and just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes makes the score 14-7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group. And sometimes that loss, get us off your back. You can move forward from there.
And that is incomplete. These two teams. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Let's go! Let's go!
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So a good challenge there to look pretty conclusive. The feet were in, and it's a completed pass. Lawrence's throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Let's go!
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
That catch good for only a couple.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Ali Marpet, the guard, caught there. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Play action. It's Lawrence. Sliding out of the pocket. He finds his man. Complete. That's Pierce. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once you make the read, he's able to make the play.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him. You don't see that at times, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him to his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. For the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've just...
He rifles one, it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans team.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there on the run.
Good with a PAT. He's now 21-14. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Throwing after the interception. Lawrence. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big play that time through the air. 39 yards. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. There's caught Michael Pittman with it. And he goes diving to get as much as he can following a big gain. A nice little cherry on top there at the end. Here's Lawrence. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football in these last couple of weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you?
And he takes it in for a Colts score. Nyheim Hines, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. A A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
Let's go, boy. Bring it on.
And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he goes out right around the 39. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Hey, 25 to Mike. We're going 25 to Mike. Tighten up, tighten up.
And in the air once more, it's Brissett. He dumps this off to Mack. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up the 3rd down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Brissett. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, Brissett. Complete to Jones. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down.
Let's go, defense.
Here's Brissett. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked there by Nick Nelson. And the Colts force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception. He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
They go play action with Lawrence. He'll get this one to Pittman. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts.
Here we go.
As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. They go play action now. Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. That's Pierce.
That's what we are.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. On play action, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete with the clock down now to 13 seconds.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Escaping the pressure right. He finds his man, complete. That's Pierce. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. He'll buy some time right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell as time expires in the first half. And the Colts have taken the lead on the final play of the first half. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a due to time constraints. We move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half? And he's going to go down. The Texans come out and able to bring him to the ground. Kyle Van Noy, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now Lawrence. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, that has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Lawrence to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for Indy. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Lawrence going to throw again. And his throw is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown, Colts.
This is our time.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling. 29 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. That time a 6-play drive. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Takes it at the 7. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Let's go!
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They go right back to Mack. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll try to throw now. Brissett, he's letting it fly for Cooks. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there for Houston. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Brissett's going to keep it on the option. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence being chased out left. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And this one will be brought back to the 22. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. It's a 4-yard pickup there and leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
A great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Here's Brissett. He completes it to Jones. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. On play action, Brissett. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Go to work, guys. Go to work.
Kevin Jordan, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Elliott good on the extra point. And that cut the lead down to a touchdown. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence rolling to his right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Poole. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Going for it all. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the gun, here's Brissett. Gonna throw deep for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's brought down after a very nice game. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ballgame and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. I guess you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there on that play. I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. And now it appears that the referee's been pleased. Called it a touchdown originally. This will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and the lead now up to 14. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Brissett. Into the hands of Cooks. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First down now, but that clock rolling. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Elliott now to have the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And the Colts are going to recover the football. And that should be enough to go down. In the 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And they take a knee. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. And they will take a knee here. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. So 1st and 2nd down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your own crowd, but when you go out there with that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that